My Weirdest School, Book Number 8. Mrs. Master is a Disaster. Written by Dan Gutman. Pictures by Jim Pelot. Chapter 7. A Nice Round Number. What are we going to study now? Andrea asked Mr. Cooper after the other teachers left the classroom. Reading, writing, or math? None of those things, Mr. Cooper replied. We're going to talk about toilet seats. Well, that was different. I'll bet your teacher never said instead of studying reading, writing, or math, you were going to talk about toilet seats. The next thing we need to do, said Mrs. Master, is to decide how much we charge for Party Pooper. Why don't we give it away for free? Suggested Emily. That way lots of people can enjoy it. Then we don't make any money, dumbhead, I told Emily. You can't make money if you give stuff away for free. You're mean, Emily shouted, and then she went running out of the room. Sheesh, what a crybaby. That wasn't very nice, AJ, said Mrs. Master. But you're right. You've got to charge money to make money. How about we sell it for $10, suggested Neil. Well, the factory will probably charge around $50 just to make each Party Pooper, said Mrs. Master. We would lose money if we sold it for $10. How about we sell it for $100? Ryan suggested. That's a nice round number. Said Mrs. Master. So if we sell 10 Party Poopers for $100 each, said Mr. Cooper, how much money will come in? Everybody rushed to take a calculator out of their desk. $1,000, shouted Andrea. Then she smiled the smile that she smiles to let everybody know that she knows something nobody else knows. Right, said Mr. Cooper. And if we sell 100 Party Poopers for $100 each, how much money will come in? Everybody rushed to figure it out. $10,000, shouted Andrea before anybody else. Right, replied Mr. Cooper. Hey, I said, I thought you told us we weren't going to work on math. This sounds a lot like math to me. Not at all, AJ, said Mr. Cooper. This isn't math. We're just talking about toilet seats. And if we sell 1,000 Party Poopers for $100 each, how much money will come in? Everybody rushed to figure it out. This was really sounding like math to me. $100,000, shouted Andrea. Right, said Mr. Cooper. And if we sell 10,000 Party Poopers for $100 each, how much money will come in? $1,000,000, shouted Andrea. Right. Hey, how many Party Poopers do we have to sell to make $1 bazillion? I asked. There's no such thing as $1 bazillion, said Mrs. Master. I knew it. $100 seems like a good price to me, said Alexia. I don't know, said Michael. That still sounds like a lot of money to pay for a toilet seat. Here's a little secret, said Mrs. Master, lowering her voice to a whisper. Instead of charging $100, we can sell the party pooper for $99.99. But that's just 1 penny less than $100, said Andrea. Yes, but it sounds like a lot less than $100, said Mrs. Master. That's why prices for things we buy often end with 99 cents. That didn't make any sense at all, or sense. You are all shareholders in the company, said Mrs. Master, so you need to vote on it. All those in favor of selling Party Pooper for $99.99 say aye. Aye, we all shouted. All those opposed say nay. Nobody said nay. I wasn't going to make horse noises. Then it's decided, said Mrs. Master. We'll sell Party Pooper for $99.99. Chapter 8. Door to Door. When we got to school the next morning, it was just like any other day, except that it was completely different. Mr. Cooper was on the phone, yelling at somebody. I told you we need 1,000 toilet seats, he hollered, and we need them now. While Mr. Cooper was arguing, Andrea had on her worried face. What's the matter with you? I asked her. Did your clog dancing lesson get cancelled? No, she said. I'm worried that Mr. Cooper is going overboard with this toilet seat thing. He's falling out of a boat? I asked. What do boats have to do with toilet seats? I didn't even see a boat anywhere. No, dumbhead, said Andrea. Can't you see? Mr. Cooper doesn't pay any attention to teaching anymore. I asked him if we were going to work on our spelling today, and he said we would spend the whole day selling toilet seats. Good, I told Andrea. Why do we need to know how to spell if we can make bazillions selling party poopers? Bazillions is not a real number, Arlo, Andrea huffed. I was going to say something mean to her, but that's when Mrs. Master came rolling into the class on her hoverboard lawnmower. Sorry I'm late, she said. I was working on my next invention. It's a smoke detector that stops beeping when you shout, I'm just cooking bacon. That's a great idea, Grandma, said Alexia. Mr. Cooper finished his phone call and told us the factory promised they would deliver 500 toilet seats on Monday and another 500 a few days later. Yay! Everybody shouted. Great, said Mrs. Master. Now it's time for us to tell the world about our new product. Word of mouth is the best advertising. So we're going to go out in the street, selling party poopers door to door. Is Mr. Klutz okay with us doing this during school hours? Asked Emily. Sure he is, said Mrs. Master. He's a part owner of our company, remember? It was cool to leave school in the middle of the day. Mrs. Master and Mr. Cooper were the line leaders. We walked 1,100,000 miles until we got to a street with a bunch of houses on it. Okay, said Mrs. Master when we stopped at the first house. You kids ring the doorbell and see if you can sell this family a party pooper. We ran up the steps. Ryan rang the bell. I held the party pooper prototype. A lady came to the door. "Do you want to buy a toilet seat?" we all yelled. The lady screamed. "Get out!" she hollered. Then she slammed the door in our faces. We all went running back down the steps. That lady was mean. Mrs. Master told us not to be discouraged. We walked to the next house, and this time we decided to just have one of us make the sales pitch. Ryan rang the bell, and a man came to the door. "Excuse me, sir," Ryan said. "Do you want to buy a toilet seat?" "No, thank you," the man replied. "It's just $99.99, said Neil. "That's a penny less than $100. "I don't care how much it costs," the man replied. "I don't need a new toilet seat." "Oh, okay." We went back down the steps. At least that guy didn't yell at us. "You're doing great," Mrs. Master told us when we got back to the sidewalk. "If at first you don't succeed, try again." Andrea said she wanted a turn. We walked to the next house. Ryan rang the bell. A lady came to the door. "Excuse me, ma'am, do you want to buy a toilet seat?" Andrea asked. "I already have a toilet seat," the lady replied. "Not like this one," Andrea told her. "It's heated and it glows in the dark, so you can see it at night. And it talks. You can even have a conversation with it." "My name is Party Pooper," the toilet seat said. "I'm your friend." "That's creepy," the lady said. "I don't want to have a conversation with my toilet seat." "I am sorry you think I am creepy," said Party Pooper. "Perhaps things will be better tomorrow." "You can turn off the voice if you want to," Andrea told the lady. "No thanks." We all put on our best puppy dog faces, because that usually works when you want something from a grown-up. "Please, please, 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 please," we all begged. You can't miss when you put on the puppy dog face and say, "Please, please, 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 please." "How much does it cost?" the lady asked. $99.99, we all said. $100 for a toilet seat?" said the lady. "Forget it." She closed the door. Emily started crying, of course. We went to a bunch of other houses after that. Nobody wanted to buy a party pooper. Bummer in the summer. "Don't feel bad," Mrs. Master told us. "I've been rejected 1,000,000 times." It felt even longer walking the 1,100,000 miles back to school. Mr. Klutz was waiting for us at the front door. "So how many toilet seats did you sell?" he asked. 1,000? "No," we replied. 100? "Not exactly." "Well, how many did you sell?" asked Mr. Klutz. "None," I admitted. It was the worst day of my life.